Welcome. Thank you for joining me on your mat today. We're going to start just sitting back to the heels, bringing the hands down towards the thighs. We can soften through the eyes. Begin to connect with the breath. Letting the breath swirl in through the nostrils to the back of the throat, and down to the lowest lobes of the lungs. And as you exhale with slight constriction, swirl the breath out through the nostrils, making an audible ocean wave. Taking this breath with you as you inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. The palms can touch and meet. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, release through midline. And slowly take bigger motions, maybe taking the gaze up towards the hands. And hands fall to heart center. Maybe rising up to high knees as you breathe in. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, we'll root through the sit bones. Hands mount to the heart space. Pause and rise on the breath in. Continuing with your breath, opening through the front body, expanding the rib cage, stretching the arms long, and soften. And we'll meet sitting back to the heels, bringing the hands just down towards the sides. Inhale, the right arm sweeps up. You can take the gaze slightly up. And exhale to release. Inhale, left arm. And release. Feeling both sides of the body here as you flow with the breath. And just as we did with our first sequence, we have the option to rise up to high knees as you sweep that right arm up, reaching the left hand towards the heel. Exhale to sink into the sit bones, and inhale, the left arm sweeps up, starting to arch through the spine, maybe pressing the pelvis forward just slightly. And we'll go one more round each side, fullest expression, and hold at the top, and release. Sinking down to the sit bones. You can rest the hands just down to the thighs, and just notice how the body feels, the upper body. Maybe gently roll through the shoulders. And roll through the neck. We'll bring the hands down to the mat space. We'll curl the toes behind us and let's stretch those legs out through a downward facing dog. Taking the breath with you throughout your practice. Your Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. Start to open through the low body, guiding the right knee behind the right wrist. Let's set up for pigeon. The right toes point off the left side of the mat and sinking down into the sit bones, keeping the hips nice and squared. Then you can round forward, forearms to mat. Maybe resting the thumbs or stacked fists to third eye space. Really getting deep into the right hip, into the right glute and thigh. Find that swirling breath of air. Bringing the palms to the mat space and sitting down to the right sit bone. Let's swing that left leg forward. We're going to stack the left ankle on top of the right thigh or right knee. We can stay here, maybe one hand, the right hand just to the right foot, and then that left hand to the knee. Right hand to left foot, I should say. And the left hand to the knee, just gently guiding it down towards the earth, feeling that through the lateral side of the left hip. And with the right hand, we're going to interlace the right hand around the left big toe, reaching the left hand back behind you. And begin to stretch that left leg up, take the gaze back. Reach the left arm back a little bit further, twisting through the upper body. Lift the left leg up. Start to feel into the hamstring. And as we exhale, bend at the left leg. Let's stack it back up onto that right thigh. And then bring in the right sole of the mat, the foot to the mat space, hands behind you. Flexing the left foot. So you're nice and engaged through the low body as you press into the right. Inhale. Lift the hips up. And exhale to release. And send the left leg straight up to the ceiling, point and flex. And sole of the foot to the mat space, and we'll windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And sending the legs out long on the mat space. Hands pressing into the mat, heels press into the mat. Reverse plank pose as you inhale. Lift the belly, lift the hips up towards the sky. Maybe the head and neck falls back. Broaden through the collarbone. One more breath. And release. We're meant to walk ourselves forward into a nice forward fold. The legs can be wide or closer together. Knowing that a sigh out to release heat is always available. And we'll slide the hands up the legs, grabbing from behind the knees, and make our way to our tabletop. If your body's calling for a few rounds through cat and cow or some side-to-side motions, just honoring that here before rising up to your downward facing dog. From down dog, we'll slide the left knee behind the left wrist, setting up for pigeon pose on the other side. And beginning to fold forward, finding 3 to 5 breaths here in pigeon pose. back body rise with the breath in as the lungs expand and fill with fresh oxygen. And popping up to the hands, sitting down to the left sit bone. Let's swing that right leg forward, hooking it on top of left knee or thigh. Again, the right hand to the right knee can just gently guide it down towards the mat. And it's like we're stacking shin on top of shin here. Getting into the lateral side of the right glute, hip into the ball and socket joint. And taking the two peace fingers, wrapping it around the right big toe. Let's reach the right hand back behind us as we swing the right leg up. Taking a twist, gazing back towards the fingertips. And exhale to find the posture we just found, bound through the legs. And we'll slide the sole of the left foot to the mat space. I like to flex through the right foot just to create that nice stable shelf. Before pressing into the hands and feet, lift the hips. Exhale to release. Send the right leg up, point and flex. And release. Windshield wiper through the legs. Maybe a little massage for the glutes here. And sending the legs out long on the mat space, setting up for a reverse plank pose. Holding for 2 breaths when you rise. Heels, hands, press into the mat. You can find that forward fold again, either wide leg or the legs closer together. Let the upper body round. Getting off of the wrists. And sliding the hands up the backs of the legs, grabbing behind the knees. We'll make our way to tabletop. And from our tabletop pose, we're just going to flip the back of the right hand to the mat space, fingertips towards the body. You can shift forward and back, massage out the wrists. Keeping the hands facing towards the body or the fingers towards the body, let's flip the palm to the mat space. So we're shining the dorsal side of the arm forward. And release. Then the left back of the hand can flip to the mat space, the fingertips towards body. It's counteracting all of our work on our wrists thus far. Being particularly gentle with these smaller joints. And palm of the hand to the mat, fingers still towards body. And finding a neutral tabletop position, allowing your body 3 to 5 breaths here to move naturally, to find cat-cow, maybe straighten through the legs, if we're really tight in the hamstrings. Work a little more, rolling out through the wrists. And curl the toes behind you, rising up to down dog, taking it nice and slow. Feeling each movement, feeling the core engaged. And gazing to the top of our mat space. Let's tiptoe forward to our forward fold. Taking a full sigh out through the mouth. Let the arms be heavy, the upper body hang. Then as we inhale, let's roll to rise. You can sweep the arms overhead. Hands at heart center. Stepping to the top of our mat space, and then we'll take a big step back first with the left foot, finding our warrior one pose. So let the left heel come towards midline and then square the hips towards the front of the room. Nice bend into the right knee. Sweeping the arms up, inhale. And as you exhale, let the fingertips point towards the front of the space, down to the mat, and then humble warrior, reaching the fingertips to the back of the space. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. And exhale, you can just find the hips. Pivoting to the tiptoes of the left foot, we're going to step forward into a bit of a balance. Rooting into the right foot, we're going to step it forward, swing the left leg up, bending at the knee so it's parallel to the hip. Right hand to left knee, reach the arm back behind you. Inhale, forward, hands to hips. Let's step it back to our warrior one pose. You can spiral that left heel in. Inhale, the arms sweep up. And as we exhale, let's drop the right hand and trying to reach for that left leg or wrap it around the left glute or hip. Starting to take a twist through the body, gaze up. Exhale to unravel. Hands find the hips, tiptoes of the left foot, same balancing pose. Hinge forward, root into the right leg, swing the left leg up. Right hand to knee, gaze back behind you. Getting a little bit of a yin-yang fusion here, working and balancing, but also flowing. Inhale through midline. We're going to send it back to a warrior three. Keeping that left leg lifted, root into the right foot, square the hips, find your balance, soften the gaze, choosing arm variation of your choice. And we'll bend in the right knee, finding the tip toes of the left foot. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Open through the chest. And exhale, floating the hands down to the mat space. Let's let the left knee kiss the earth. Left hand stays planted, right hand up to right knee, gazing back behind you. You can choose to even bend at the left knee, reaching the right hand back towards the foot or the ankle. And exhale to release, coming through our crescent lunge, picking the left toes up and pivoting the left foot so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Right hand to right shin, straighten in the right leg, reach the left arm up. Trikonasana triangle pose. Find the breath. Now, as if there's a string on the left fingertips, begin to pull all the way up and let the right arm sweep overhead. And exhale, let's bend into that right knee, warrior two. hold here. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Try to bend nice and deep, maybe a little bit more into that right knee, guiding it towards the pinky toe. Soften the gaze, stay with it, 2 more breaths. And exhale to release. We'll straighten through the right leg. We'll pivot both feet so they're parallel to the short edges, and we can heel to the feet in just slightly. I'm going to start to make some figure eights and the hips start to loosen up. Can let go of that heat building sequence. Send the left hip forward and back. Right hip forward and back. You can even get the arms into this motion, swaying from side to side or whatever feels nice. Just feeling if there's built up heat within the body, if it feels nice and warm and you want to hold on to it, or if you need to sigh it out. Create a little bit more space. And then we'll bring the feet closer together. We're going to bring the right hand up towards the face, plugging the right nostril with the right thumb and letting the pointer finger rest to the forehead. 3 breaths through the left nostril only. Just inviting that yin energy as we move into a little more balancing, that little more calm space. Releasing the right hand towards the hips and breathe through both nostrils. Opening through the eyes. We're going to point the left tiptoes into the mat space. And then finding some external rotation. Let's slide the left sole of the foot to the shin or inner thigh. Finding our tree pose. The hands can come to heart center. Soften the gaze. Maybe just notice how those 3 breaths, just breathing through the left side body, just help to calm through the mind. Maybe find a little bit more stability in this tree. And take it to your fullest expression, whatever that feels right, whatever that looks like today. Bring the hands back through midline and hands to the hips. We're actually going to reach down with the right hand for that left top of the foot, so the big toe, and guiding it up into the right hip crease. So we can stay here today just playing with trying to point that left knee down and still find a nice straight line through the body. Or we can choose to bend in the right knee, finding a bit of a shelf or like a 4, and sinking down into our posture, finding more balance and more work into the hips here. And inhale to release. And shaking out, that right leg should be burning a little bit here. Then we'll step to the top of our mat space. Big step back here. Or first, let's root through the feet. Let's bring the left hand up. Closing the left nostril, pointing the left pointer finger to the forehead, and find 3 breaths just through the right side body. Engaging that yang energy, that fire, that strength. And release. Nice, and we'll take this with us for this sequence as we step back with the right foot, starting in our warrior one pose. Again, that left heel kind of comes through midline, hips are squared, arms send up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, fingertips towards the front of the room and moving nice and slowly here, just as we did. Though we know we're finding humble warrior, we want to take each pose softly, fusing the yin and the yang. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands can find heart center. Pivot to the tip toes of the right foot. We're going to swing the right leg forward, knee parallel to hip. Flex through the right foot, left hand to right knee. Take a twist. And exhale through midline, sending the right leg back, warrior one. Arms reach up overhead on a breath in. Then we can release the left hand towards that right thigh or hooking it behind the hips. Take a gentle twist. And release. Tiptoes of the right foot, same balance pose. Inhale, step forward. Left hand to right knee, gaze behind. And exhale to unravel, finding our warrior three. Really root into that left leg. Nice work, choosing your arm variation. Soft through the gaze, long through the spine, gentle bend in the left knee. Let's find the tiptoes of the right foot, sweep the arms up, open the heart. And exhale to release the hands. And we'll lower the right knee down. Right hand planted by the left foot, and let's slide the left hand up to the left knee. Staying here, taking it a little bit further, bending into the right knee and reaching back for the top of the foot. And exhale to release the left hand. We're picking up the right toes, left hand to the left shin, pivoting to our Trikonasana triangle pose. 2 breaths. And with control, like you're sucking the inner thighs together, reach the arms up and sweep the left arm to open. Exhale to our warrior two. No, we're bringing in strength through the earth, up into the legs, feeling the body. We're staying calm through the mind, soft in the eyes, soft in the shoulders and the neck. Two more breaths. And release the hands, straightening the left leg, pivoting both feet so that they're parallel to the short edge of the mat, and then we'll bring the feet closer together. Again, let's move through those figure eights in the hips. And letting out all that heat, sighing it through the mouth. You can even bring the arms in, flowing by the sides. And heel toeing the feet together. Breathing again just through the left side of the body. 3 breaths. Letting this breath cool you. Rooting into the left foot, finding the tip toes of the right. External rotation, let's slide into our tree pose. Already bringing the calm, finding the stillness through the physical body, through the mind, through the gaze, nothing but stillness. The arms can sweep up. Hands through the heart center, and hands to the hips. Now let's reach down with the left hand for the right foot, and either guiding the right heel just up into that hip and playing with straightening the leg down, which feels really good, as well into the lateral side of the right glute, and that ball and socket joint again. We can choose to bend into the left leg, making a little bit of a shelf for the right. Then palms can meet at heart center, sticking with whatever variation you did on the other side. Find the breath. And inhale to unravel. And shaking out the standing leg, find the top of our mat. Inhale, the arms sweep up, open the heart. Take a nice back bend here, and exhale to fold. Half lift, inhale. Fold, hands to mat, stepping back to plank, and flowing through your vinyasa. The elbows graze the ribs, the heart shines on the breath in. And you can choose to find down dog or a child's resting pose. If you're in down dog, you can just make your way to your knees. And if you're in tabletop or child's pose, we'll find tabletop, sitting back to the sit bones. And we're eventually going to make our way down to the back. Rolling down one vertebra at a time. Bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out nice and wide. We'll bring one hand to the belly and one to the heart. The duality of the yin and yang, the fire and water, the sun and the moon, lives equally within both of us. For each of us, and knowing we can call on either energy at any time when we're maybe feeling out of balance, if we're leaning more to one side. And bring the knees together, And closing off your practice today with 5 cycles of breath. Letting the right side of the body be our trigger to the yang, the sun, the strength, the fire. And the left side of the body, engage more of that calm, feminine, parasympathetic nervous system for rest and repair. Moving in the body, how you'd like to feel, how you'd like to move through the rest of your day. They're slow and smooth, cooling down, or fierce and fast, or a fusion of both. May you have a wonderful day. Namaste.